Okay, happy Friday, everybody. It's Comics Workshop coming to you from snowy late winter New Hampshire here. www.merrickbennett.com is the website. Thanks to patrons for making these live draws possible. I have my paper. I just have a pen today. I think we're going to forego penciling and we'll just draw directly in pen. I'm working on finishing up a graphic novel, the El Viaje book. We're just wrapping up. I'm working on some unit outlines in comics format for teachers. This is really exciting to get these out to people. I'm posting those on the Patreon and the website. And I just need to relax a little today, clear my mind, and we'll just doodle something today. So I'm looking for a spot on this paper to start. I'm just going to make a little circle to start, and we'll build off that circle. Maybe I'll do it a little off center, like up here in the corner. Build a little circle here. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle. I'm doodling right in ink, so it's easy to see. Why don't we give that circle, make it sort of a ring. Now I'm going to build a whole sky around this whole sort of universe, just kind of doodling with lines. And we'll see where it takes us. I don't really have a plan. Maybe we'll give it like little flower petals or sunbeam, sun flames like that. I got this idea actually looking into the eyes of our friend who visited us a couple weeks ago. You remember our friend, the white-breasted nuthatch? Yeah, looking into that bird's eyes. She came and she tapped on the window while she crashed into my window. And I got this idea looking into her eyes and the feather patterns around her eyes. I posted some close-ups of that photo over on the Patreon, so you can get it over there. But she kind of gave me these ideas for doing some doodles like this. Now I have a little sun up there. And all we're going to do is we'll just do a simple repeated design in a couple ways. We'll change it. Yours is going to come out different from mine. But let's see what happens if we just make some lines radiating out from this sun. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, all about the same distance, coming out from that center, or more or less. And over here it would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll just pick like a couple little ideas like that, and we'll just repeat them. 2, 3, 4, 5. All sort of pointing out from that center. And if you do that a couple times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to start to take on a sort of importance. All the lines kind of focus on that center. Maybe over here, I'll do them. You know what I'll do over here? I'm going to go all the way to the edge of the page just to be different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I like how that looks, that arm stretching out to the very edge of the page. Let's try that again over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel more relaxed already after my morning, all the stuff I was doing this morning. It's so nice to draw with you. And this really reminds us, I'm going to come all the way down, all the way to the edge of the page here. Show you the bottom of my page. This really reminds us that to relax our brains and sort of get our mental energy back, it's not that we have to turn off our brains or like, it's not that we have to zone out. Sometimes it really relaxes and helps to focus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And I'm focused on drawing these lines, and I kind of forget all my worries for a couple minutes, and I can really zero in on one simple activity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I like how those kind of tuck behind there. Let's try that again. Shorter ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's looking very cool. It's starting to look like it's spinning almost, doesn't it? I have it on my clipboard, so I can spin it if I want. Shorter ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Making it up as I go along, looking for spots that need some lines. Feel free to make suggestions, or if you discover something, you can comment it. Here's a different kind of line. Instead of coming out from the center, I'm going to imagine, let me show you this with a pencil just so you can see what I'm imagining. I'm imagining a circle that goes around the center, way out there though. And I'm just going to use that circle to make an end to those lines. See that? Kind of follow that circle. 1, 2, 3. Let's stick with our number. 4, 5. I don't know why I picked that. Number of fingers, maybe. Oh, maybe that continues around behind here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how it's curving around the center? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe there's another one out here. So I have 2 kinds of lines. One kind is coming out from the center, going from the center towards the edge of the page in a radial direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another kind of line is going around the center in circles or loops, maybe spirals. Maybe they can spiral in. 2, 3, 4. No rule is hard and fast. I can break it if I get an idea. 1, 2, 3. See, I'll break it there. 4. That's kind of cool. It gives my stripes different distances. And maybe I don't want it. Maybe I want to break it here and bring some lines out from between here. Medium length lines. Oh, that's looking really cool. It's shining. Maybe I'll tuck one behind here. And it comes out here and goes to the edge. And we'll have a couple. It starts to look a little like some of you have said basket weaves. I posted some of these on the Patreon, along with pictures of how this relates to a nuthatch's feather patterns. Oh, it does look like it's spiraling in here, doesn't it? I don't have to keep that. Circle perfect, do I? It kind of looks. I like imperfect things, so I'll just tuck it around here and zip, it spirals into the center. That looks kind of cool. I like it. Maybe here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here this will come out further. Looks like it needs an extra line or 2 there. That's where it's starting to weave in behind each other. We've discovered something just by repeating that pattern of stripes either coming out from the center or going around the center. And look at that, the sun's coming out. It's shining on me already as I'm drawing. So it might get kind of bright here. So let's try this. If the sun's getting too bright, let's add a cloud. We'll stop this ray with a cloud. Let's think of the clouds. Maybe I like doing clouds that kind of go around the center, as if you're looking up and the clouds are circling around that sun. We'll put a cloud there, put a cloud here. See how that's kind of, it's long and it's going around the center here. Your clouds can go any which way they need to go, though. 5, 6. I'm not even counting bumps on clouds. I'm just drawing clouds. We can actually tuck a cloud behind that ray, couldn't we? Do another one here. Maybe it's really cloudy up here. Maybe over here there's a cloud hiding behind this ray. See how I can tuck it down? Like I said when we started, I don't know where this is going, but I have a couple ideas I want to play with. And they're simple patterns like this, right? Just repeating a pattern and seeing where it takes you. What if we break this pattern and send this line off here? That kind of adds to the frayed spiral. Maybe this one goes out here and just goes to the edge. Looking pretty cool. Maybe there's another one here that goes off this way. Oh, this one must come in from this side. We'll just find our way here. One other thing I like to add to this, now that I have the sun and I have sort of stripes and I don't know if these are rainbows or wind or what, maybe, and we have some clouds, maybe we add some water pouring in, right? Maybe one of these straight beams passes through this cloud, and on the other side, it's going to be water. So I'll do it as like a, oh, that looks like a waveform of light too. I think of that as a waterfall. So now I've got repeated lines that are in a really different texture from those straight ones. These waterfall lines I picked up from, actually from ancient Mayan almanacs printed on fig bark codices. I'm posting some links at the Patreon to those too. Those are fascinating. And they draw their water coming through like that. Maybe there's water coming out of here and circling around. Let's bring some circling water around. If you start thinking in color as you do this, you can always add color. Maybe have some pens and markers and you want to go in there and add color, I'll show you one little trick I like to do with the color. Two little tricks before we're done here. Keeping these live draws nice and short so we can just start together, and then we can, if you need to, you can go about your lunch and your day's business, or if you want, you can, after we're done here, after the video's done, you can just keep drawing until it's finished. Doodling's nice because it's done when you run out of time for it. And these doodles, I've been doodling a lot lately. They'll just go on and on. Sometimes we get doodling around here, and I have to stop and shake out my hand because we doodle for so long and your muscles get tired. But your imagination never does. The more you draw, the more you doodle, the more you're thinking of. You know what I'm doing as I'm drawing these bumpy lines, I'm tracing my own lines. I'm learning to see something that isn't there yet and make it there. I'm bringing these curvy lines around here. Maybe I'll tuck another cloud in here. Maybe this is all clouds and rivers. Continue these straight lines. Don't those straight lines look like they keep going here? Maybe there's another cloud here. Just making it up as I go and watching for these things to connect and interact. I like this ring of clouds around the sun, so I'm going to keep it going up here. And at this point, if you think in colors, if you're an artist who thinks in colors, you might want to think about maybe there's a color for the background sky and a different color for the stripes. I like to think in cools and warm colors. I'll show you what I mean. Cool color would be, let's see, if I wanted to do some shading, say, I might take a cool color like a purple or a blue. And watch this. I'm thinking of these lines that all point back to the center of the sun because the light's coming out from there. So that means this side of the cloud would be light. This side would be dark. So I'm going to come in and just do lines from the edge of the cloud pointing always back towards the center of that sun there. So I'll just kind of anchor my hand and then see they don't all point exactly back. As we come around here, see how they're still pointing back along these radial lines. Does that kind of look like the clouds shadowed away from the sun? Let's try that on this bigger cloud. Remember, I have to keep adjusting. Each line is pointed into the center a little more. Let's try it on this one. Each line, I mean, is pointed into the center, and I can use these radial lines here as a guide. Always pointing into the center. And if all those lines kind of point to the center of the sun, it's going to start to feel like that sun is illuminating the whole picture. It ties the picture together because your eye picks up that all these lines point back to the same point. And your eye interprets that as that point is really important. All the light's coming from that point. Shadows are on the other sides of the clouds. That means here I'm going back up towards the sun again. Now that's one way to add cool colors in there. And the warm colors, I'll show you what I like to do with the warm colors. I'll come in with I'll do all the clouds like that. Isn't that cool? Doesn't that make it look like it's shining light on one face of the cloud and then shadows on the other? Kind of feel like this sunbeam here needs to continue on. So we'll just bring it to the edge of the page there. Just doodling along, not perfectly straight lines, but I'm not going to get out a ruler to doodle. I'm just going to doodle those lines down. And if something goes askew, I'll just put a couple more lines in there and work with it. All right. Let me just finish those clouds. Then we'll add some warm colors here. And then we can just keep doodling as much as you want, and we'll see what we have. By the end of the day, we'll see how all these inks are. I love that I'm all for penciling and getting ideas down. But like I said, I just want to relax and play with things on the paper here. So I don't want to pencil and think it out and then ink it. I just want to lay down some ink, play with the mistakes, play with anything that goes wrong, and just make it so that it's part of the picture. Wrong. There is no wrong with this, right? We're just playing around. So let's see. Warm colors. I'm going to come in with a red pen, simple red pen. Maybe I'll do radial lines in the sky space here. Ooh, that's really cool. That brings those rays out. All these radial lines point back to that center point of the sun or the nuthatch's eye. Always pointing back. And what I'm doing now, I'm doodling. I'm making up a picture. I'm discovering a picture, not planning it. But also what I'm doing is I'm training my hand to find those lines and put the details in without overthinking it. I can be talking as I'm doing this while my hand practices each line. I'm getting a little better at doing those radial lines. And if I mix it up, you know what? Let's mix it up. Let me put cross lines here and radial lines here and cross lines here. Maybe we'll discover something. I'll break the pattern. Diagonal lines, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe we discovered something in there that we want to try in the next one. Maybe it would look better, Merrick, to not do radial lines, but have them be like diagonals. Maybe that would help it sort of swirl and spin differently. I haven't even tried that in my sketchbook doodles, but maybe we're discovering that, right? Maybe they sort of rotate in the sky there. Maybe one of them has more lines. Doodling and making it up. I like the look of that red in the background. Red is a very warm color to my eye. So it starts to make it look like a flaming, fiery sun, well, not a sunset sky. The sun is high in the sky. And then if I really want to make it bright and warm, I'll show you one little trick I do before we close here. Oh, I like that red in the sky. And you can almost see the wind blowing around here. One little trick I'll do is I'll come in with, where's my yellow marker? I'll come in with a yellow marker, and maybe after I'm done, I'll go through and I'll color in those sky zones. And that red will blend with yellow, turn kind of orange. I'm really liking how red and yellow mix with purple in these sky pictures. So I'll keep playing with that. Oh, this is a spiral, right? So it's going to go out and out. A lot of fun to play with these shapes. Discover something. Try a different combination every time. Maybe a green sky next time. Green and yellow. That might look really lively. I'll keep playing with that. What was the other thing? Oh, and keep an eye out for inspiration. Check this out. I was building a fire just this morning, picked up a piece of wood. Check out the grain on this piece of wood. It looks like regular oak grain here, but as you move it along, look at the swirls in that grain. Maybe this piece of wood, just like the nuthatch's eye, is telling me something. So I'll look at those, I'll look at that grain and those swirls. I don't know if you can see it, but the grain of the wood is swirling in on itself there where the wood was strained. So maybe I'll come in here and I'll start doing swirls instead of straight lines. I'll take an idea from the world around me and put it into a picture. And then we'll see how that comes out. Maybe that wind and that rain will mix. Maybe I'll find a light blue for the water, or maybe I'll do a surprise color. Let's see. Just doodling along. All right, I'm going to keep drawing on this. I will post the results, whatever they are. Oh, I like that. I like that grain of wood idea. I'll post the results, whatever they are, over on the Patreon. If you want to join over there, it helps us do more live draws, and you get all the invites and all the artwork as it's finished, and also the new books and stuff if you sign up at the graphic novel level. But you can sign up at any level each month. Thank you to the patrons who have been on there all winter. It's been nice to draw with you. Been really fun to get your feedback and your comments, and make some art with you. And we're moving into some new graphic novels in the spring and lots of new projects coming up. All right. I think I'm going to need maybe some mountains or something down here in my doodle. Let's see. It'll be a surprise. I'm liking the colors. Hope you have a good doodle in front of you. Good luck with it. Make a few, break the rules, make the rules, break the rules, and play around with it. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and we'll be back soon.